What's going on, everybody? We have a very exciting show tonight. We got some special guests coming along the way. But Ross, we already have over 100 people in the live chat, 1 minute in, and I think everyone is excited. Kevin Steele, welcome to the University of Miami. This is a name nobody saw coming. We heard about Doug Belk, Clint Hurt. I heard Glenn Schumann's name more than I heard my grandma's name in my household the past 3 months or whenever Mario Cristobal's been at Miami. Kevin Steele. By the way, I thought this was a guy Manny Diaz was going to go after this past season. He runs primarily a 4-2-5, incorporates a 3-4 defense. 4 years at Auburn. He was Nick Saban's first choice to be the defensive coordinator at the Alabama Crimson side. I believe he worked under Dabo Swinney. I think he got fired because of the West Virginia game. Could be wrong on that. But he has a tremendous resume. Was the head coach at Baylor, interim coach at Tennessee recently. Crazy amount of experience, and he specializes in linebacker play. What are your first thoughts about this hire, Ross? I think it was a good hire.
It's a very solid hire, no doubt about it. I was pleasantly surprised when it happened. And for the simple fact, Paul, that, and I think you know as well, is that this is going to upgrade our linebacking core. It's something that we desperately needed to have. And we brought in a guy who knows how to make that happen. Even all the way back in his earliest years, Steele was learning how to coach linebackers from the Nebraska legend, Tom Osborne. So he started off with a really, really good coach, and he just kept improving. And remember, he also made it in the NFL coaching linebackers as well for the Carolina Panthers.
Norman Fujioka, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Kevin Steele is a B+ to A- hire. Yeah, I agree. I think it's up there. He was going to take the defensive coordinator position job at Maryland. He was working in the office last Friday. He was out there recruiting, and he told him, hey, I'm headed to the University of Miami. I think this was a solid hire. I'm glad he's coming to UM. I'm glad he specializes in linebacker play, guys. Look, I'll say this. We're going to be a lot better at tackling defensively compared to the last year. We're going to be a lot better. And I think that's a positive step. He's intense. He's a serious guy. There's been across social media, there's been video clips of him yelling in the locker room. He's passionate. I love that. I completely love it. Now, he likes to incorporate the nickel position a lot in his defense, primarily, which is something I like a lot. Who do you think can fill that role? And I want to say someone's name. I think it's going to get the chat going to play nickel. Because I think, in my opinion, Tyreek Stevenson is your ideal nickel at the next level. Just looking at his measurements. If you want to put him out on the outside as a cornerback, to fill in that need, that's fine. But I love him playing the nickel primarily. I think that's where he would fit appropriately in the NFL.
I feel like that could possibly be where he ends up in the NFL. I feel like we still might use him on the outside. I just have that feeling that we're going to use him on the outside at Miami. But, dude, I'll tell you what, man. Depending on, of course, his development, I would be very, very, very intrigued to see what Corey Couch could do there with another year of development under his belt. I really would, just to see an active, athletic guy in that role.
Give them $200. Appreciate that. Fresh 3542. Now, hear me out here. He'll probably see the linebackers position unit overall as defensive coordinator. We still need a coach overseeing our secondary. Cornerbacks coach, safeties coach. I don't know. Maybe they'll just hire DB's coach overall. He does have a relationship with Corey Raymond, who's down at Florida. That's going to be a complete long shot to snag him. But if SEC programs are snagging our coaches, why can't we snag theirs? That's just my opinion. Not saying it's going to happen. Just an idea, guys. Throwing names out there. But we're slowly building this staff. We still need an OC. But Kevin Steele, phenomenal hire. Our defense is going to be a solid defense with the personnel we have. I'm glad he focuses in on linebacker play. We need a lot of help. Wesley Besaint is enrolling early in spring. He will participate in spring practice, which is huge. I'm not going to say he's going to be a day one instant impact player. I think the most reps he can get, the better he's going to be coming into Miami.
I like bringing in a guy with this kind of experience. For Cristobal getting his first start at Miami and kind of starting over again in his career. I really like the idea of bringing in someone with that much experience and big time game experience against big teams in the SEC, and even going over to Clemson to coach for 3 years. I think that this was a really solid hire, Paul. I really do. Like Norman said, B plus, A minus kind of thing. It's not an A plus hire necessarily, but this is the kind of hire that can put us in the mix to start winning some real games, man.
100%. I think he did a phenomenal job at Auburn during his time. Auburn, they're very well known for their defense. Offensively, it's quite a struggle. I mean, Cam Newton was probably their best quarterback they've ever had. They had Ronnie Brown, Cadillac Williams at one point, but primarily Auburn, and their identity is really, defense, the football side, and, to compete in the SEC West and have a strong defense, have a top 25 defense, game planning in the SEC is a lot different from other conferences in college football. I'll leave it at that.
A whole lot different. He wouldn't have been getting those chances had they thought that he wasn't going to help those teams he was on. While some people are concerned because he did bounce around a little bit, that's just how much the guy was wanted at schools. I mean, anybody who needed help at that position, especially if a school, happened to just make an upgrade at DC or got a better guy, the next step down, though, for another school, especially in the SEC at that time, was bringing in Steele. And that got proven over and over again because he kept getting hired. I think getting this guy in with this big game experience against big opponents, it's a big deal for us, man. It really is. We're wanting to get Miami, through the ACC and into the national spotlight. That's what we're gunning for.
100%. And I think if you're going to go that route, you have to get SEC experienced coaches who've, performed at a high level. And I think he did a tremendous job his 4 years at Auburn. He does bounce around a lot. That's just part of the business now. You're going to have coaches spend 2 to 3 years at a program and leave. It's part of the game. 1 to 2 years with Coach Steele, see what happens and hope for the best. He's been a head coach before as well. So that is a key trait to have. Do you think this is a coincidence? So tomorrow's a big day. Shamar Stewart's announcing. That's really one of our top recruits. Local product out of Opelika, Florida, attends Monsignor Pace High School. He's a 5-star. He's our top dog, right? Local recruit. Do you think this is coincidence? We hired a DC tonight, right before he's going to sign.
If it's not outright coincidence, it's something pretty close to it. From the rumors that we've been hearing, Shamar Stewart was a little hesitant because we didn't have a coordinator. That's the rumors I kept hearing, is that, who's going to be the guy if I commit to Miami? Who's going to coach me? What defense am I going to be in? Well, now he knows what defense is going to be at Miami and how we're going to run it. And that should at least give us some kind of a chance to get him, or better chance to get him than we would have gotten had it been yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think this gives us a better chance.
And Ross, we got our first very talented recruit backstage, the man himself, Connor. Why don't you introduce him before we bring him on to our viewers right now watching?
We have got 2023 defensive lineman Connor Knight from Pinson Valley, Alabama.
Connor, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
How you guys doing today?
We're doing outstanding. The University of Miami just hired Kevin Steele as their defensive coordinator. Does that ring a bell at all?
Oh, yeah. He was at Auburn, Clemson, LSU, Alabama.
Yes, of course. That's your neck of the woods, correct?
Yes, sir.
I guess question, what was I know you're in the state of Alabama. I feel like you either pick Alabama or Auburn. What was, amongst, fans of Auburn and Alabama, what was the reputation about Kevin Steele that you heard?
He can coach. He definitely can coach. Me growing up as an Auburn fan, I always knew the defense was going to show up. Yeah, I always knew the defense was going to show up. Yes, sir.
So, Connor, I got to ask, man, how was this past season? How have you've been doing? How did this past season go for you and your high school teammates, and some highlights that you accomplished?
Yes, sir. Well, it started pretty good, but then it sort of got a little rocky. We got back up. We went to the third round, though. We underachieved. We wanted to win a state championship, but we're going to get there next year.
I love to hear that. State championship is always the goal every season. What are you trying to do as a very talented high school football player to win that state title for your team and help out with that process?
I got to be a leader. I had to be accountable to my teammates every day, and I had to set the standard. Yes, sir.
Ross, what did you see in Connor's film that stood out to you, and why he's going to be such a great player in the next coming years?
He can play mean, but he plays under control with it. It's a controlled chaos. It's not like it's out of control. He's not getting wild penalties, doing anything foul like that. He plays with this controlled chaos, and it's really fun to watch. He also has a very good understanding of the basics of run stuffing, which we all know is extremely important at his position. A lot of guys kind of look past that a little bit. They're so worried about pass rushing. Well, from Connor, I saw a dedicated approach to run stuffing, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure college coaches do as well.
Yeah.
Connor, anything you wanted to add to that statement about your ability?
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm one of the best run stoppers in the country. I always prided that first, stopping the run. Yes, sir.
Connor, what's your current height and weight right now?
I'm 6'3", around 275, 280. Yes, sir.
What's the focus this offseason? What do you want to work at to take your game to the next level?
I want to become a better pass rusher. I want to become a little more faster. I want to bend better, get off the ball faster, stay lower. I think I do some of them things well. I just want to get sharper on them, especially the pass rush.
Are you working with any specific trainers to help with that?
Yes, sir. I'm working with Winning the Edge and Kevin Brown and Grind Lab Academy. Yes, sir.
Hey, Connor, we have over 200 people watching right now. Tell all the viewers the offers you hold.
I hold Miami, Kentucky, Troy, South Alabama, Oregon State, Houston, Eastern Kentucky, Toledo, and others.
How
State.
How has your relationship been with the University of Miami coaching staff?
It's been real good, mainly with Coach Cristobal and Coach Ed Potter. Yeah, mainly them two. Yes, sir.
What can you tell the viewers about Coach Cristobal that you like so much? Maybe personality and the relationship you've built with him.
He's a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's available. You can call him whenever. You can text him whenever. He's available. He's always nice, respectful to me and my family. Yes, sir.
Connor, what traits do you believe that a good DL needs to have? You know, what's some of the basics that a DL needs to have, especially if it's a guy who's looking to go from high school to college eventually?
You have to have the mindset to just play, to have a killer mentality, but to control it to a certain level and to work hard every day.
What are some of the focuses in the weight room you're taking care of this offseason?
I say power clean, squat, bench press.
Connor, do you plan on visiting the University of Miami, in 2022 at all? Is that part of your plans this offseason?
Yes, sir. I plan to go March 5th. Yeah, around that March, begin the March area after dead period. Yes, sir.
Anything else this offseason you're going to be working on? Maybe it's the weight room, more of your footwork, or anything in general?
Staying low and getting quicker off the ball.
And where do you stand right now?
Like staying with what?
Your height and weight?
Oh, 6'3", 275.
6'3", 275.
Yes, sir.
Connor, who are some of your favorite players, guys you look up to, you know, guys you can get a little bit of steal some of their game, you know, and add it to your game?
At the college level or pro level? Or
Either one.
You know? I like watching Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack. Let me think. Ed Oliver is somebody I like. Jadeveon Clowney, Derek Brown.
Yeah,
I model my game after Derek Brown. Yes, sir.
I can see that. Eating up that space on the interior. I can see why you look up to that guy, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking game week right now, okay? And we're talking film study. What
Yes.
are some of the first things you try to break down when you're studying your opponent's offensive line?
How they reach, how they pull, um, what type of formations do they like to double team you in? And like if they're like an empty, they probably won't double team you in. If they're standing up, I know they're gonna pass it. Certain things like that. When their hands in ground. They're like the certain tendencies that they do, you know. Yes, sir.
Well, Connor, I'm really excited to see your development, this offseason and next year when you sign to a great college football program. What are
Yes,
going to be
sir.
some factors in your decision?
Somewhere I can call home not 4 years after, but 20 to 30 years after I'm done playing.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got for Connor Ross. Anything else you wanted to ask him?
Yep, the question that I ask every recruit we bring on here. Connor, what makes you love the game of football? Where do you get that fire to go out and compete at the highest level week to week?
When I was little, I just used to always think, how could I take out anger? And I always played basketball. You can't do it on a basketball court. So I just started playing football. And then I loved it.
Actually, and I got one more question for you before we let you go here, Connor.
Yeah.
You got 3 words here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Miami Hurricanes football. What do you think of when you hear those 3 words?
I think about Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. Missing somebody else. I'm missing like a Hall of Famer.
We got a couple, man. There's no worry. We got a couple.
I can't think of his name.
It's okay. No worries, man.
Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mostly you think about the history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sean Taylor was a baller.
Have you had a chance to watch the ESPN 30 for 30 shows about Miami?
No, sir, but I know my dad loved it.
If you get a chance, man.
Yeah, I watched snippets of it.
Yeah. If you get a chance, watch it, man. It's a fantastic story, especially if you're truly interested in Miami. It's a fantastic story to know where we've come from and where we're trying to get to again.
Yes, sir.
That's it for me, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Well, Connor, thank you so much for your time. We know you're going to do great things, this upcoming season, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward. And we know you're going to be successful on and off the football field. So thank you again for coming on the Scoop.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Connor. All right. Take care.
Sir.
All right. Our next guest, Ross, Charleston Rambo's own personal trainer. He's trained some of the best wide receivers such as Denzel Mims, and the names keep going on and on in the college football ranks. He's a household name in the state of Texas. Why don't you introduce him to everyone watching? You're on mute.
Sorry about that. We have one of the top wide receiver trainers in the nation. He takes care of some of the best and possibly the absolute best wide receivers in the state of Texas. He is Charleston Rambo's personal trainer, and he's going to be helping him develop into the NFL.
Marvin, welcome back on the Scoop.
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
We're doing great. And yourself?
Oh, man, I'm making it. I'm making it.
Marvin, last time you came on here, you said Charleston Rambo was going to be a different player than what fans saw at the University of Oklahoma, and that was 100% true. You said he was in a different mental state. He wanted it more, and man, he really took off this season.
Man, he did, man. I'm very proud of him, and it was, nothing I didn't expect, So it's everything I thought he could do, was capable of doing, man. I'm proud of him.
Are you still working with Charleston right now, getting ready for the NFL draft coming up?
I actually came to Dallas for about a few weeks, and I worked with him while he was here, just to polish up on a few things I saw, while he was at Miami, and kind of, clean some things up. Then he went out to Arizona to Exos to do his combine preparation, getting ready for his 40 and all that kind of stuff. So I've been talking to him, kind of daily, doing pretty well at the East West Shrine Bowl, been one of the top receivers there every day, being consistent with everything, that the pro scouts want to see. So I know he's supposed to be. I know I'm supposed to go meet with him. I'll be in Miami for his pro day, so I'm coming in like a few days beforehand to work with him on a few things, kind of get the script out, see what they're gonna work on with, and come check him out on his pro day.
Margin, before this season started for Charleston, what were some of the focuses you guys had? What did you guys really try to work on?
A lot of things, man. Just being able to, getting back into the old Charleston,
Yeah.
Just mental, just his mindset. He's always had the skills.
Yep.
Just getting that confidence, that swagger back with him, and he was allowed to do that in Miami.
What do you think the difference was, or anything that stood out to you with Miami? Charleston at Miami this last season compared to the last season he had at Oklahoma.
They let him be him. They allowed him to be himself. They didn't try to force him to fit into a scheme and do that. They let him do what he did well. They allowed him to run the route tree, and and they come to find out, I always tell him he puts his cape on and he performs. He's not a rah-rah guy. He's not going to yell and, "Coach, play me." I always tell you, usually with him, you just have to assume he's going to do it. And if you have that confidence in him, he's going to make plays for you.
So, Margin, I really felt like Charleston's play took off and he developed a really outstanding chemistry and connection when Tyler Van Dyke, started getting more and more involved in the offensive game plan. How did you see that relationship? And do you think Charleston's game really excelled with Tyler Van Dyke as quarterback?
Well, this is just from my experience. When you get a new quarterback in, and a guy as talented as Tyler, when you have a dude, that's who you go to. When you're young, you go to your safety net. And that's what Charleston was. He was a safety net. So it worked out perfectly for him, throwing the ball to him, on fourth downs or whatever the situation was. He, and the more plays Charleston made, the more confident the quarterback became with him.
You're going to be working with Rambo as he's going into the NFL here. What are some of the differences in training that you're going through with him right now compared to what you were doing with him in college?
It really is like a review. Really, it's like it's nothing new. You can't reinvent the wheel. So I'm just polishing what he has and clarifying himself. Because when kids go to college, there's not a lot of technique work that's done. Coach is not there to build your technique. Let me show you how to do. Let me show you how to do that. They recruit you because you already know how to do it.
I got you.
That's what recruiting is now. I'm saying recruiting is dating. You see the pretty girl, you coerce her to come to you. You offer the flowers and everything to get her to come to you. That's what it is. And sometimes I hear scouts, or a recruiter, "Man, you come here, we're going to develop you." And I'm like, okay, if you're going to develop, well, why do you got 12 receivers on the roster? Why only 2 of them can play and the rest of them weren't developed if you're a developer? If I'm working with 8 kids, guess how many kids I'm going to develop? 8. So you're not a developer. You're an opportunist. That's what I look at. You go recruit the kid that can play, teach them your scheme and system, give them a few wrinkles within your scheme, and you play them. You're just smart enough as a coach to put them out there. That's where it is now.
We've been hearing about Rambo absolutely killing it in 1-versus-1 right now these last couple of days. What makes him such a special receiver one-on-one?
You know what? I always told when he was younger, I always told people he's more like a counter puncher. It's more like a Mayweather. He can read you. He can adjust in mid-stride. For someone to be as long as he is, he's smooth and deceptive. You're thinking in one his size can kind of make the cuts, the moves he has. But I always tell people, man, that's from the get-go when I started training him when he was 12. That's all I built him for. And I tell people he's my guinea pig with all this training thing. And it's coming full circle for him. And I'm just happy for him. It doesn't shock me at all. He's doing what he was doing in high school. Basically, that's all they're doing. They're just older.
Margin, if you were speaking right now to an NFL organization, a general manager, and they told you, "Margin, we're thinking about taking Charleston in, this round. What can you tell us about him? and why should we take him?
I would tell him this: he's an even kill kid. I've always said this: he's an even killed young man. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. So he's always in the right mindset to go make plays no matter what's going on. And again, just give him an opportunity. That's all I say. Just give him an opportunity. That's all you can ask for in the NFL is a chance. If you give him the opportunity, he will make the plays. He got the opportunity in Miami, he made the plays. And just that sense of confidence with him.
When you first started training Rambo, was there anything that he came into that program with that he was naturally, just this natural traits or natural feel for the game that stood out from the rest?
Oh, the crazy thing about talking to his dad today, and I was telling him, I said, one thing he could do, and people always question, even when he got to Miami, was can he catch? When he started, he could catch everything. He did. People like, what are his hands like? And that's the one thing he came. He was a small, slender kid. I mean, he could run. He wasn't no blazer, but he was always his mindset. He was always an even kill type of kid. And that's the one thing that attracted me to it. I'm like, man, he doesn't get too high. So he's coachable. If he's doing great, he's not gonna be the arrogant one and say, I got it, I'm cool. If he gets low, he's not the one where he's down in the dumps. So it's easy to get in it. It's easy to get to him, and course and train him and mold him to what he needs to be.
What do you do typically when you get new talent into your training program? Do you kind of have a formality you like to run things through, or is it individual for each guy?
It's a blueprint. And I tell people, Rambo was the beginning. He's my guinea pig when I started all this, just going for a tip. A kid that I just had signed this year, he ended up solidifying the blueprint, and that's Kevin Stewart, who's rated number one in the nation. He solidified everything that I started off with to where it's now. And I'm still learning all the time, but it's like I see a kid and it's like a canvas. I don't look at what he is. I look at what I can create with him. I look at the attributes, some of the God-given talents and some of the things that he just has naturally. And every kid is different, Every kid is different. So it's like art to me. I see it, I calculate it, formulate what I'm gonna do, and then I have the process and I go through it. Then I press repeat and I do it again. Then I press repeat, do it again. So it's like formally this, I call it spiraling back, doing the same thing over and over, fine tuning and refining what's already started.
Was there what was your favorite play that of the entire season for Charleston during his time at Miami? Was there one play that you were just like, wow, I got to tip my hat to that one, man. That was impressive.
He made quite a few plays,
Yeah.
and it was all of them was expecting. And you know what? It probably was a fourth down play against Florida State. It was a fourth down play, fourth and like 8 or 9. And with the DB draped over in his face and grabbing him, he was able to turn, pluck the ball. To me, for most people, it's something simple. It wasn't much. But for me, understanding what it takes to do that, some people can't even catch a ball in the backyard by themselves. He's sitting in the stand with 70, 80,000 screaming, fourth down in a rival game in the fourth quarter. And his number is called to go make that play. He don't make the play, the game is over with right then and there. That to me, just me being an ex-receiver, kind of like, okay, yeah, I like that. Mentally, that's the even kill side. It was like, okay, so I'm just gonna make the play. That's one that kind of stood out for me.
You're working with some extremely talented young wide receivers right now in the state of Texas. Some of them that have gotten some interest or offers from University of Miami. I want to talk to you about a couple of these guys. Maybe you can just give us a quick breakdown on some of them. Give the viewers an idea of Jonte Cook, 4-star wide receiver you're working with.
Jonte Cook, actually, I was talking to Coach, he's one of my more, I call him silky. He's very smooth, extremely athletic, has a dominant mindset, to make plays, be big time, make big time plays.
Well, I think we lost Margin.
Yeah.
We do have our other guest backstage as well, Antonio Tripp. We'll wait till Margin comes back on. And he's coming now. All right, Margin's back.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No, you're good.
Um,
No worries.
like I said, Jonte, he's an extremely gifted athlete. Has a good skill set and something. It's still a process. We're still working on it to fine and retune it, but has a motor, man, has a will, and man, an eagerness to be the best.
What can you tell us about Ashton Kozart?
Ashton Kozart is one of the more gifted, you know, because of, normally if you have speed, you're not big. Or if you're big, you're not that fast. Well, he's 6'3", legit 6'3", and he legitly is a 10.7. That was his sophomore year 100 meter. I'm thinking this year he might run 10.6, 10.5 100 meter kid. And when you mix that, it's a little different. Also, I tell you, it's difficult working with him because you got all that high teaching. When you have all that energy, have all that power and speed, the technique it takes to run full speed and stop in 2 steps. That's not easy. I tell people this, man. That's a technique that's taught over and over. I tell people, you go to college, man, you better know how to do that. The coaches, now they don't know how. Half of them don't know how to stop in 2 steps. They just recruit guys who can do it. So that's the thing with him. And it's a little tough for him because of some of the natural gifts. But once he gets it down packed, I mean, he'll be unstoppable. And he has a great attitude, man, and motor. Where he's very aggressive. Wanting to prove people, not prove people wrong, but prove that he's, like I said, the best.
What about Michael Harrison Pilot? What can you tell us about him?
He's the most all-around athlete because he plays defense. He plays quarterback, cornerback. He plays everything. Plays receiver. He's the do-it-all on his team. And Temple's, pretty good school here in Texas. Man, good hands, this great skill set. Man, has speed. I know he's running 21 200 meter kid. Has a nice size, about 6 feet, a little over 6 feet tall. Man, and like I said, one of the top receivers and athletes in Texas.
The last one I got for you here, we're gonna go with Jalen Hale. Tell us a little bit about him.
Jalen Hale's like Ashton, tall kid, rangy. Made great plays this year. With his team in Longview, man, made big time plays. To keep his team in the hunt and playoffs and all that. Catch the ball well, in and out of breaks well. Man, gets upfield. For his size, he's deceptive. We don't think he run, but he actually can move pretty well. For his size. One of the top, like I said, one of the top receivers in Texas and the nation.
Ross, anything else for Margin?
No, that was it. Just getting those breakdowns there at the end. I just want Canes fans to get an idea of who he's working with and the caliber of players that they are. These are elite players, absolutely.
Margin has definitely worked with some of the best players in college football and some future NFL players, and we're grateful you came back on the scoop, Margin, and we're really excited to see what NFL organization Charleston lands, and I know they're going to be extremely grateful to have him.
Oh, man, I'm sure they are, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure, Margin. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All righty. Margin Hooks, Charleston Ramble's personal trainer since 6th grade. He's coached them all. Denzel Mims. The list keeps going on, and he's got a bunch of talented recruits coming on as well in the near future in the college football ranks. All right, we got our next guest on, Antonio Tripp. Ross, do the introduction.
This is 2023 offensive lineman Antonio Tripp Jr. He's 4-star from McDonough High School in Maryland.
Antonio, welcome to the scoop.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on. We greatly appreciate it.
No problem. I had to.
Yeah, so Antonio, how's your past season been going on? And, Oh yeah, you got some echo noise. It's all good. How's this past
I'm
season been
sorry.
going on for your high school team?
This past season was pretty like up and down kind of. The beginning of the season, we were really we were really down. Like we had a new quarterback coming in. Um, it was a lot of chemistry, just chemistry problems with the team. So we started off those first 4 games pretty bad. Then we got it up a little bit. We went like a, I want like a 6 game winning streak all the way to the championship. But we made too many mistakes in the championship and we came up short. But it was a good season. I'm proud of all my guys.
So all the viewers watching right now, tell them how many offers you hold.
I hold, if I remember, 24 D1 offers.
Bet you there's a ton of Power 5 schools in there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I
it-
can.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
can
Rob.
say, I can say, Paul. I can list off a couple for him right here:
Do it.
Arizona State, Miami, Michigan, Penn State, Pitt, Tennessee, Texas A&M, South Carolina, plus more.
Yeah.
Antonio, how's your relationship been with the University of Miami?
My list has been pretty good. I think Coach Cristobal and Coach Marable have been knowing about me since their days at Oregon, since about like my sophomore year. So I haven't really been in contact with them, but like they've been knowing about me, and I think I talked to them like once during that time. But since the offer, I've been talking to Marable a lot. I haven't talked to Cristobal yet, but Marable is pretty cool. I talked to Coach Ed Potter. He's pretty cool. They all, I mean, they seem really genuine. I mean, I'm sure you know Marable's like the greatest offensive line coach in the nation, as far as college football. So I mean, that was a blessing just getting that offer from him and then getting on the phone with him. I mean, you can just tell he knows football, you know. So it was just good talking to him. And just yeah, I'm just excited to keep building with him, and I'm definitely trying to get down there ASAP.
Antonio, what's your current height and weight?
I'm about like 6'3.5" kind of, and I'm 295.
What's the focus this offseason? Where do you want to improve at to take your game to the next level?
I think I'm pretty. I think I work pretty good on my versatility. Just being able to play anything against all across the line. So I was gonna try really work on that, and then I mean, I plan on trying to fight for a spot to play the freshman when I get to college. So I mean, you know, the normal strength and conditioning, and I mean just lateral quickness, man, because I can never be too good at that lateral quickness, and just in general offensive line ability.
Are you working with any trainers to help out with that?
Yeah, I work with Fat Boys O line. He's an O line trainer here in Maryland. He's more in like the Washington D.C. area. I mean, so he trains a lot. He trains like another guy from my school, Shamar Walker, who's a 3-star. He's trained a lot of like all American guys like Planet Tingwell and a lot of these 5-star guys and 4-star guys who come out of Maryland to like these big P5 schools.
Antonio, are you planning to visit the University of Miami anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm visiting Miami around March 5th. So March 5th is probably the spot. I mean the time.
Absolutely. How are you doing right now in the weight room? Bench press wise, squat wise?
Bench press wise, I kind of just rep out 275. So I haven't maxed out in a while, but
And how?
I want to say, huh?
Oh, I was gonna continue. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, squat. I want to say I'm up like the high 500s, maybe like 570 somewhere like that, and then like power clean, maybe not 570. I want to like, but like I'm in the 5 somewhere like that, probably 550 something like that. But I mean, power clean I want to say is like where I make my money at. Like I haven't maxed out with power clean in a long time, but I couldn't even give you a number. But yeah, that's my favorite exercise.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I turned 17.
16 years old, and you're
next
putting up
Wednesday.
those numbers already. Pretty impressive. How tall are you?
6'3.5".
6'3.5". Wow. Putting up those numbers at 16. Man, I'm telling you, you got to meet Coach Feld down at the University of Miami. I think you'll get along quite well.
I definitely got to. He got a good reputation. I gotta get in team with him.
Antonio, what do you know about the University of Miami? You know, you don't live in Miami, obviously, but I mean, did that school ever resonate to you? And Mario Cristobal coming back?
Yeah, it definitely meant something. And I mean, I know all about Miami. I mean, that was a team. The NCAA college football days. That was a team I really played with, and a team I really. I want to say that's where I gained my knowledge from. Just watching those guys play and all that. And just I'm being from Baltimore. I always knew about him just because Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. So I mean, the U was always prominent, and especially with Cristobal back, that definitely makes it more appealing. Like of course, they've always been a school that I always wanted to get the offer from and always wanted to visit. But I mean, definitely with Cristobal, just seeing what he was doing at Oregon, that was impressive. And see, he basically brought his whole staff back. So I mean, why not? I mean, it's Miami, so I mean, the NIL deals there, and just the city life. That's just there's a lot of opportunities there.
We have a lot of fans who are not exactly familiar with the area that you're in. We recruit a lot of down. We stay in the southern areas and stuff like that mostly. So, who is the biggest rival for your guys' high school, and how did that last game go when you played them?
So it's really like we don't really have a rival because the rival we have like traditionally from our school because like it's a lot of history here is Gilman. They're like across town, but like they're not really good. So we've been beating them for like the last like 10 years. So I really say the biggest rival is like we're in the MIAA and the WCAC. I don't know if you heard like the schools like the Matha Catholic, St. John's, all those guys, Good Counsel, all those guys. So I mean we're kind of like above the competition in our league. So we kind of battle with those guys because I mean there's always the competition of is the WCAC better because I mean they have a lot of history of producing like some of the top guys in the country, and then you got your St. Francis Academy here in Baltimore. So it's a lot of talent. I mean, which is rival for everybody. I feel like we're the most hated.
We had a chance to talk with a former offensive lineman, Hurricane. He played in the NFL for multiple years, Eric Winston, and he gave us a little advice, and it's something that he always said that pass along to offensive line recruits. He talks about how important it is to get foot speed and footwork mastered in high school before you get to college. How do you work on your foot speed?
Yeah, I feel like foot speed and just like lateral speed, so not just naturally have. I mean, just from the first time I always played offensive line, I could always pull really good. I could always hold my position on the line when doing like a stretch play, anything like that. But I mean, I try to just do what everyone does. I mean, agility ladders and just doing the offensive line technique drills or anything like that. But yeah, it's definitely real big. Like I try to really before I go to college, I really want to improve my foot speed and just foot quickness while also like of course flexibility and just hip what's what I'm looking for. Hip flexibility, I guess.
Ross, you got any more questions for Antonio before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I got two questions here for you, Antonio. We'll start with this first one here. How do you describe your game? What kind of player would a college be getting when it's time for them to get you committed?
I say I describe myself as like a for my size and for like how I play. I say I play pretty good with like zone blocking, pulls, stretch plays, anything like that. I can really move laterally to the next level, and I feel like I'm a really good run blocker, pass blocker. I feel like I feel like I have a really complete game. Like there's nothing I really like have to fix. But you can always get better and fix it. But I feel like my game's just really complete. I can do it all. And I can do it all at elite level from any position. Center, snapping, guard, pulling from right guard to left guard, switching my stances. I feel like I can just do everything.
And the last question I got for you is the question I asked to every recruit we bring on here. Antonio, why do you love the game of football? Where do you get that passion to go out and compete at the highest level on a weekly basis?
Football for me, the love I have now. I always had love for football since I was like 5. But to be honest, the love I have now, like the love I just can't. I can't not eat, sleep, and live like football. That came probably about like seventh grade when like 8th grade actually, just a switch clicked on, and I was just like, I can really go places with this. Like I can really like I don't want to go. I don't want to be like a regular student and just go to college. Like I want to. I can see myself going to a high level with this. So I just love it. Like I just love going out there and be able to just get all your anger out. It's a real good stress reliever. Like when you step on that field, nothing else matters. Like the only thing that matters is getting your dub with your boys, and it's just nothing else beats it. Like I play a lot of sports. It's just nothing gives you the thrill. Like, yeah.
Well, Antonio, thank you so much for coming on the scoop. We're very impressed, with your football ability, and we know you're going to do great things. So we're going to be
Yes,
watching
sir.
you closely and see how your football career takes off.
Yes, sir.
All right, Antonio, thank you so much. Have a great
All right.
rest of your night.
Thank you.
All right. That was Antonio Tripp. He is definitely a name to look out for. We'll probably maybe get a couple more recruits on this show. But Ross, why is Antonio such a great player in your eyes?
Like he talked about, versatility. He can really do it all. I watched him perform at multiple areas on the line, and he actually was productive at it. It wasn't like he was switching and uncomfortable. He seems to have a really good grasp at it, and that's valuable. We know how valuable versatility is these days, and especially at that position. He really has paid attention to fine-tuning his game, and that's why he's a 4-star. It's why he's a noticeable name now, and his name's getting bigger and bigger. I think that he was kind of even though he's a 4-star, he was flying under the radar for a little bit there. But dude, lately, a lot of attention has come his way, and he's going to keep getting more and more attention because he is a genuine 4-star recruit, no doubt about it.
100%. So, 48 minutes in the show. Ross, you think we'll be getting an offensive coordinator as well this week? I honestly think we're going to be waiting a little bit of a while. I know we revisited Joe Brady. He's being interviewed by the Chicago Bears for an assistant role. Who knows who we're going to hire at OC? I don't even know. Could be anyone.
It's tough, dude. The Steele one kind of caught me by surprise, so I kind of feel like the next move is going to be something like that, where it's just we don't hear much about it, and all of a sudden, boom, our OC's announced. I don't know. I frankly have no idea who it's going to be, Paul. I have no idea.
Yeah. It's interesting because Kevin Steele, you saw the reports, he's taking the Maryland job. I was like, oh, he's an appropriate candidate. And then, comes to Miami. It could be a name that maybe took a job, at a school. And we're just trying to maybe revisit that name. Who knows? Who knows who it could be? So it's going to be very interesting. But I think Mario is making good hires for the University of Miami. Yeah. And he's not making swing and misses like Blake Baker.
Yeah. This is so big of a difference between Mario hiring his first DC at Miami compared to Manny Diaz hiring his first DC at Miami. It's a whole world of difference, and it should give us a leg up immediately. Honestly, it really should. And as time goes on, we'll start to see that linebacker core get better and better and better.
All right. Well, we have some big announcements coming on tomorrow. I guess with the defensive coordinator being named, do you think we can land Shamar Stewart? There's been back and forth. People say Georgia, Texas A&M, Miami, Texas A&M, Georgia. Where is he going to go? I don't know at all. I would say having a defensive coordinator now, hopefully maybe that can persuade him going to Miami. Recruiting him, we never had a DC, and I think that affects recruiting. But now we do the night before he's going to make his decision.
It can't hurt us any, it can't hurt. We brought in a guy with an SEC background to go after an SEC caliber recruit. So, no matter what, we're in a better position to get Stewart today than we were yesterday and the day before yesterday.
All right, let's make our guess predictions. I'm going to say Shamar Stewart will pick, you know what? University of Miami. Why not? I think it's going to be change of heart last minute. He's going to pick Miami.
I still have him leaning towards A&M, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. We got Gooseman Chris says Jackson State. We'll see.
What do you think about the offensive lineman, Dave Luley?
Luley, I think he will be going to Oregon. I'm going to stand by that.
Yeah, there was a Cristobal put in a pretty confident Cristobal put in for Oregon there. I'm not quite sure what changed. It seemed a lot of hype from Miami there, but hopefully it's just hype and not anything real, because it'd be great to get that guy. It'd be
hope
fantastic.
I'm wrong. Hope those crystal balls are wrong. Because remember, Kevin Coleman had crystal balls coming to Miami's way as well.
Yep. Crystal balls on the heart. Yeah.
Look, it's a 18, 17-year-old young adult making a decision. Technically, you're not an adult if you're under the age of 18. You're technically viewed as a minor. You know, everyone changes their mind every 5 seconds. Literally. I change my mind every day about things.
There's a big one, though, Paul, that we're really in it for, and that we're really, really in it, and that's Ahmad Moten, 4-star defensive lineman, legacy at Miami. We're really, really in it for him. His admiration for Cristobal, he made it clear to us. Like he said, that's his guy. He referred to him as his guy due to the relationship they had at Oregon, and he's carried that relationship on to Florida or down to Miami, and it sounds like everything has just gone pretty much as well as it can go.
Yeah. Ahmad Moten, I think that would be a nice pickup. I want his teammate Mason Thomas as well. There was a report today on social media stating that Mason Thomas is not expected to pick Iowa State, where he was previously committed to. He's going to pick a different school. Could be Oklahoma or Miami. South Florida product. Ahmad Moten's teammate. Will they both choose the University of Miami? If they do, that will be a huge win. I will say this, Jack Pyburn committed to the University of Florida today. Hey, look, I think that was expected. He's from Jacksonville. His parents went to Florida, picked up a Miami offer, picked up an Auburn offer, then visited Florida this past weekend. It is what it is. I'm not crying over it.
No, I mean, there's players I definitely would like to land, of course, but we've got some talented guys in our class already. Thankfully, we've got guys like Cyrus Moss already on the roster. We got Kelly, got an interior presence right there. So, I mean, we've got guys that we simply wouldn't have gotten with Diaz as our head coach. So no matter what, progress has still been made. It might not be at the rate we all wanted it to and the timing we all wanted it to be at, but progress is continuing to be made. And I think if we make the right OC hire, it's going to send some shockwaves through the ACC.
You cannot judge Mario Cristobal in this recruiting class. You can judge him next year, class of 2023, for a full recruiting cycle. You cannot judge him. He's came in 2 months out. And to do what he had to accomplish, I mean, it's to get Cyrus Moss, Nigel Lee Kelly. And let's see how he finishes tomorrow. If he gets Shamar Stewart, Ahmad Moten, Mason Thomas, that's incredible. That's a very good job.
Yeah.
And Luley, imagine if he pulls off Luley. I mean, listen, and that's literally 2 months of a recruiting cycle. That's literally nothing.
That would be fantastic. While we just got our defensive coordinator today and still haven't announced an OC yet. So if we make moves like that, Paul, that just shows you the caliber of recruiter that Cristobal himself is as a head coach.
And I really want Luley to come here. I really.
Yes.
Absolutely. The thing, man, I mean, I don't know. The Cristobals from Oregon to me were just like kind of like, oh no. It sounded like great. Miami, Cristobal, that was the connection. When I saw those Cristobals today to Oregon, I don't know. Something hit me like, I don't think we're going to get it.
It seems like, man, it happened pretty fast. I mean, a lot of hype from Miami, whole lot of hype. And not just from our fans, but from Dave himself. He'd been, retweeting things and all his timelines, all full of Kane stuff. So it would be a bummer to lose him. It definitely would. I understand that he's had a chance to, make a relationship at the school of Oregon longer than he has at Miami. So I get that. Even though it's a new coach, it's still a school he's more familiar with, and it's in the Northwest, an area he's more familiar with. So, I mean, I understand.
All right. And we got another great guest on, Marvin Burks. Ross, why don't you tell the viewers watching about Marvin, what he brings to the table?
This is 2023 safety Marvin Burks, from Cardinal Ritter in St. Louis, Missouri. This is one hell of a safety, guys. This is what I kind of consider to be an all-around safety. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, and he's got the speed, and he's got the IQ to make big things happen.
Marvin, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us tonight on The Scoop.
What's going on? I appreciate y'all for having me on The Scoop.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, Marvin. To all the viewers watching, what offers do you hold right now, Marvin?
Right now, currently, I hold 23 offers. I can't, I haven't been really keeping track off my head. It's been heating up, so I really haven't been able to, keep track of it, everything going on. So I've been doing my best, but I currently have 23 offers right now.
Any schools that pop out? Maybe from the
I
university?
got a few, but we gonna keep that quiet though. But Miami is for sure on there. Miami is still sticking out on that list.
Hey Ross, what did you like so much about Marvin's tape? I know you really liked him as a football player.
Man, just the tenacity he plays with, man. I mean, it's special to watch. You can tell why he is a 4-star athlete and he's a 4-star safety. I mean, it's and on top of that, dude, his tackling ability in space. I like it a lot because that's something that we know we've had issues with at Miami. He's a good tackler. He knows how to play the safety role, as in when he needs to stay back and he needs to stay over the top, but he knows how to get in the box and get involved if he needs to there. That's the IQ that he has, and he does a very good job seamlessly coming in and out of that. And I will say, though, here's some of his offers, guys. Arizona State, Arkansas, Florida, Miami, Louisville, Michigan, Minnesota, Ole Miss, USC, and Washington, plus more.
That's a pretty impressive list, Marvin. How's that breakdown from Ross?
That breakdown for us is, it's straightforward, it's accurate. I work my tail off to get those schools, and I'm still working my tail off to, get more and, boost my stock.
What's your current height and weight right now, Marvin?
I'm 6'2", 190.
What are you working on this offseason to take your game to the next level? Where do you really want to focus on building your game?
Speed and flexibility, being able to be, speed for one, because at the next level, everything is faster. However, how you get, everybody want to make it to the NFL. At that level, guys are playing fast. So I'm just always working on my speed and then flexibility, being able to be, flexible with my hips so I can be able to get in and out of my breaks and, just be able to be that rangy safety that can, just fly around on that back end. Also, strength as well, so I could come down in the box like you mentioned, because that's a big part of my game. I like tackling the open field. I like to stick my nose on the ball. So,
are you working with any trainers specifically to help you?
No, sir.
Okay.
Marvin, how has your relationship been with the University of Miami? Are you speaking to a specific coach in particular?
So when I first got the offer, I was talking to Coach T-Rod, but we all know the Scuba T, so he's at Alabama now. So actually, I've been talking to the DB assistant coach, Coach Terry, at the U. So me and him, we've been chopping it up lately. We talked actually today earlier through text. So that's who I've been keeping it up with. That's who I've been chopping it up with.
Did you know they were going to hire a defensive coordinator today?
No, sir. I gotta go do my research. I gotta go see what's up with the update or whatever. I just was on, chilling on the game and whatnot. So sure, I gotta go do my research.
So Marvin, I gotta ask you, University of Miami, some of the best safeties in the game of football have came through there. Who are some of your favorite players that played at the University of Miami?
Sean Taylor, no question.
Everyone gives us Sean Taylor.
Yes, sir. And why I say him? I got a few reasons why I say him. For one, he wasn't the biggest guy. We all know that. But his heart, it just, he's flying around. He making, getting incredible making incredible plays in the back end with picks, coming down, laying the wood. And, that's all things I try to model my game as. Like, it's been a few games I didn't cut on the Sean Taylor highlight before the game just to, get my adrenaline running. And, he a Hall of Famer, he's legendary. So that's just who I try to model my game as.
You're going to be stepping in next year as a senior. How do you plan on being a leader? Do you want to be vocal or do you want to show it with your action?
Always been the guy who showed with my actions because, I'm not really much of a speaker. But I know as I get, you know, it's like you said, it's my senior year, so I know I have to be that verbal leader as well as, you know what I'm saying, showing with actions. So I'm really have to be more verbal this year, especially, you know, trying to win that state championship. So I for sure got to be more verbal. Then, you know what I'm saying, the guys look up to me that's around me that's younger than me, you know. They see all the flashiness, you know, with offers and everything, but they also are behind the scenes. They're insiders as well, so they get to see me putting in the work.
Do you have any specific weight room goals that you want to focus on this offseason?
Not really. Just really, I'll say, like, you know, going on these college visits, a lot of, you know, coach strength and conditioning coaches, they've been talking about bar speed. So if I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I know I can lift 225, you know what I'm saying, a good 10 plus times, you know what I'm saying. So I'm not really too crazy on like a goal, but I can really say like my main goal is getting my bar speed with certain weight with that squats, hang cleans, and stuff like that. So just the bar with the speed with the bar.
We got a question from Clarence. He wants to ask, does Marvin play any other sports?
Yeah, I run track.
All right. What's your do you run the 100-meter?
I run the 100, I run the 200, I also run the 400, and then relays.
Wow. The relays wig me out. How do you pass the battalion and make sure you don't drop it?
Sure, you just gotta get your hand, you know, make sure your palm flat, hand closed. You just gotta be here with it. You just gotta, when you hear stick, shoot your hand up high as you possibly can. But also, it's also too about like whoever passes you the stick. See me, I'm 6'2". If I got somebody 5'10" passing me the stick, I probably don't want to take my hand up that high. So you know what I'm saying, it's just you gotta judge it right. But mainly just being able to have, you know what I'm saying, a clear hand for the stick.
So, Marvin, you're going to be making a big decision coming up in 2023, correct? Going to
Yes,
be
sir.
choosing what school you want to play for. What are going to be some factors that are going to weigh in on your decision for picking the right college?
Playing early is one, the big thing. That's what everybody, playing early. We all want to compete. Competing, everyone is going to compete. So I'm not afraid of competition. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward for competition, but also, you know what I'm saying, I'd rather be in a race with 4 guys instead of 10. So that's just something I always carry with me. And as well as, you know what I'm saying, being somewhere where my family could come see me play. And I just want to play big boy football. That's all. I just want to play big boy football no matter where it's at. If you playing big boy style of football, you know what I'm saying, you're going against some good opponents. That's what I'm all for.
Describe your game when it's time to put you in college and get you to in that jersey and in an NCAA stadium. What kind of player are they going to be getting?
They're going to be getting a player that can fly around and be physical with, you know what I'm saying, slot guys, O-line, you know what I'm saying. If I'm in the box and I see a guard pulling, you can trust that, Marvin, he going to come up there and he, you know what I'm saying, he going to hold his own. So you'll see a lot of speed, a lot of physicality. I love to get my hands on guys. You're going to see a lot of open field tackling as well. Like, I pride myself on that. And you're gonna see some big plays like picks, I love to, make the money. Me, I feel like, in order to be Hall of Fame, you got to get picks. You got to make picks. So that's what, you got to be picks. You can go all conference with deflections, but, you know what I'm saying, you want to go all metro, you got to get them picks.
Who are some of your favorite players? Who are guys you look up to kind of steal some of their moves?
I like Derwin James, you know what I'm saying? He remind me of my body shape, you know what I'm saying? He plays physical. He makes big plays. I also love the Honey Badger just because the energy and the leadership he brings to the defensive side of the ball. And then I just like Jalen Ramsey as well because it's just all the stuff he taught on the field. And then, him talking that stuff, he got to back it up. And that's just not on the field. That's in the offseason as well. When he's training by himself, he got to back that up. So he got to work hard.
Ross, any other questions for Marvin? Mute again.
I got muted again back. So sorry, guys. I got my one question that I ask every single recruit we bring on here, Marvin. Why do you love the game of football? Where do you get the passion to go out there and compete at the highest level?
My family. My family. That's why I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be the generational talent in my family to make a change. Not just for the next 5 years or the next 4 years, but like for long term, for the next couple generations that's gonna come through my family. That's what strives me, that's what motivates me. I don't do it for all the flashiness. Like, yeah, that's gonna come with it. But when I come home, you know what I'm saying, I do it for the people that's in my home, in my circle. That's who I do it for. Because I know how much, you know what I'm saying, I know how much they work, you know what I'm saying, to provide me with stuff. Like I go to a private school, you know what I'm saying? Anywhere in Miami, you know what I'm saying, you don't gotta send your kid to a private school because all the public schools are good and that's everywhere else. So how much money my mom, my dad, my granny, you know, just my peers, my family members, how much money they put into me to, you know what I'm saying, be successful. It means a lot.
There's actually one more thing I wanted to ask you before we got off on here. And from what I understand, right after we lost T-Rob, our secondary coach, you got a visit from Coach Field. Was Coach Field up there to let you know that your offer was still good at Miami?
Yeah, sure. He for sure told me that. And you know, I talked, you know, it was great, you know what I'm saying? He let me know like, you know, my offer is still, you know, commutable. It's still, you know, me and him still can be able to stay in touch as well as with the DB assistant, Coach Terry. So as soon as he left the school, Coach Terry hit me up. He hit me up. So he let me know that my offer is, you know, I still have an offer from Miami.
All right, Marvin. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight. We greatly appreciate you coming on this scoop, and we're going to be watching you closely, and we know you're going to do great things this upcoming season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all for having me on the scoop. Y'all have a blessed night.
Absolutely, Marvin. All right. Thank you again. Take care.
You too.
All right. That was Marvin Burks. Definitely a name to look out for. One of the top safeties in the nation. And now we have our final guest of the night, the number one cornerback in California, Ross. Let me give the introduction to the viewers watching. You're on mute again.
I didn't even think I bumped it. My bad. This is four-star cornerback Aaron Williams from Centennial High School in California. He was just recently at Miami on the during the Elite Junior Prospect Day.
Aaron, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us on the scoop tonight. We
Yes,
greatly
sir.
appreciate it. So, Aaron, man, you're the number one cornerback in California. You came down for Elite Prospect Day at the University of Miami. How was your time there?
I actually loved it. The times I was up there, I visited Miami up to 3 times since I was there for like 2 days. I was on campus 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
you've been on campus a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool. What did you like about, touring campus and the new coaching staff?
The campus is beautiful, and the coaching staff, they're really trying to bring Miami back to what they used to be, and I believe that the coaching staff can do it now, especially since Cristobal is there and Coach DVD.
How's that relationship been with Coach DVD?
Me and DVD been talking ever since he offered me, so it's been an ongoing relationship that's really I'm enjoying.
Aaron, what's your current height and weight right now?
Right now I'm 6'2", 179.
How did this last season go for your high school?
My last season I ended up having an injury, so I had to sit 6 games. But other than that, it was great, and I love playing with my family.
Have you had your wingspan measured?
I honestly just did, but I can't even remember it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So what are you working on this offseason, Aaron? Like, any specific workouts, trainings that you want to do to take your game to the next level?
Really, I'm just trying to get bigger, stronger, and faster and show everybody I'm number one corner in the country.
Aaron, how was this past season for you and your high school teammates?
Me and my high school teammates, we had a kind of upset. We ended up losing to number one team in the country by 5 points. So,
Oh, wow.
we really had them, but we can't go back and we can only live on a future.
What are you going to be working on this offseason to try to win? I think you guys call it CIF in California?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to be working on?
Basically, me and my teammates, we just want to show everybody that we can beat the number one team in the country and bring back to a championship back to Centennial how it used to be.
Gotta love it, man. There's a lot of great players that came out of Centennial High School.
Oh, yes, sir. Vontez Burfitt, it's a lot of them. J.J. Taylor. It's a lot.
Who are some players you look up to right now, maybe in the NFL, college football, that you watch their film, or maybe you just want to play to their ability?
I honestly, to me, I want to play like Jalen Ramsey just because he's a versatile DB. He can play safety, corner, linebacker, wherever you need him to play, he could do it, and he'll shut your best player down and take him out the game, regardless.
Aaron, you were just talking about how you got a chance to see the facilities at Miami multiple times. Was there anything there that really stood out to you? Anything that really impressed you?
The campus, that's the most beautiful campus I ever been on. That was mind blowing right there.
I watched your film, and I've watched quite a bit of it. You are basically like a missile on the field. You play with no fear. You have a great nose for the ball carrier. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that passion and that drive to go out there and just play like that? It's amazing.
I really think it's just every time I play, I know this could be my last day I'm playing, so I'm gonna stand out and make sure everybody knows who I am and where I am on the field at all times.
Aaron, what's on the schedule for this offseason? Visiting schools? Are you going to be, going to programs that offered you? What's on your itinerary?
Right now I have a scheduled visit with Alabama and LSU. So
Wow.
March 11th, I'm supposed to be at LSU, and I might go March 10th to Alabama. I haven't
How's
even
your-
announced Alabama yet, but so y'all the first one to know that.
There you go. Aaron Williams. He's been in contact with the University of Alabama. How are those relationships with those two SEC programs so far?
The LSU, I really just got back with LSU because they had re-offered me because they had a whole new coaching staff, all the coaching situation around. And then Alabama offered me probably like 2 days ago. So it's just an ongoing relationship I'm starting to build.
Do you think you're going to stay in the West Coast, or you're just trying to play where the best football is at overall?
I want to go wherever it fits me best, bigger than just football. So I'm willing to play wherever, it don't matter, snowing, negative degrees, wherever fits me the best, that's where I'm going to go.
Any key factors that are going to really play a role in your decision next year on National Signing Day?
Basically, I really would say the number one thing is probably my relationship with a coach. And then the program and his what can I call it? His resume and everybody he's put in the NFL league, his successful path.
Aaron, describe your game. What kind of player are you?
I'm a player that's gonna come at you every play, no matter what.
Man, I mean that's short and right. I mean that's pretty much what
that's
I saw.
That's right on the money too.
Yeah, it was right on the money, bro. You nailed it, man. Who are some of your favorite players, guys you look up to?
Jalen Ramsey and Deion Sanders.
Okay. Is there a specific reason you look up to those two guys?
Deion Sanders, he's one of the greatest of all time to ever do it at the DB. And Jalen Ramsey because he's the most versatile DB in the league right now. And that's something I would want to perfect my game after.
How do you work on tracking the ball in the air? I noticed that you're very, very good at that. Is that something you learned? Did you possibly play wide receiver? Because it kind of looks like you almost did.
Oh, yeah. Youth football, I played everywhere. I played tight end, receiver, quarterback. I played everything. So I do a lot of small workouts like with tennis ball, reaction drills, everything like that. High point.
Aaron, growing up in California, did you follow University of Miami at all?
No, not really. Really growing up in California, I was a big Oregon fan growing up as a young kid.
So you were watching Oregon a lot with Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, that was when the Anthony Thomas and everything was blowing up.
Okay. Did Mario come to Miami really make you more interested in the University of Miami?
Oh, yes, sir. It sure did. Because at first, I really didn't have an interest until I really got up there. And really, they show love and everything. So that played a big part now. Because Mario Cristobal, he offered me when I was in 8th grade when he was at Oregon.
Oh, wow. How was that experience?
Oh, that was an unbelievable experience to this day. Me and my family cried about it when it first happened.
Wow.
You were down there for the Elite Prospect Day, and you were down there for a little while. Besides being at the event, what else did you get to do around town? Did you get to see anything you wanted to see or experience anything?
Around town, no, not really, because we had a 7-on-7 tournament, so we really didn't get to do too much. But we walked the beach a little bit. That was really it, though.
I was actually going to ask you about the 7-7 on tournament. How did that go for you guys?
We lost in the semis. We had a big upset to Two-Tone Turf. Shout out to them. They got a lot of good players over there. That's my boys. But, yeah, they ended up knocking us out in the semis.
How do you feel 7-on-7 football helps you as a DB?
As a DB, 7-on-7, I think it really helps because you can't hold as much. It's a lot basically all footwork, especially when people come out there with tight jerseys on, no arm sleeves, nothing. You can't really hold. So it really brings you out your best, especially when you're playing the top dude.
You know, Aaron, when speaking to you, it seems like you built a really good relationship with DVD. Do you guys talk constantly, like every week?
Oh, yes, sir. Ever since I left, we've been talking every day.
Oh, wow.
I was literally just texting him before I hopped on this.
Oh, really? What can you tell us about DVD that, you know, we wouldn't know, and kind of the person he is and a coach?
I think everybody should know how a person is. He's really a funny dude, opener. He's willing to do whatever as long as if you're one of his players, I feel like he'll do whatever for you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, Coach DVD, you know, he went to the University of Miami, played in the NFL, and that's awesome. You get to develop a great relationship with him, you know, throughout this part of recruiting. So that's we're glad to hear that.
All right, Aaron, we're talking game week film study right now. When you're getting ready to go up against your opponent, what are some of the first things you try to key on with the wide receivers you're going to be guarding?
I'm a press man type of corner. I like getting face, so I really look at releases when he gives signals to the quarterback. If he counted his steps, does he come out fast? Does he come out slow? Really, just everything. Really, the best of my ability to see if I can bait things when I play off or anything.
Aaron, why do you love the game of football? Where do you get that passion to go out there and just play like I said, you play like a missile. You're a heat-seeking missile. Where do you get that passion and that fire?
Ever since me and my brother, we've been playing ever since we playing in the street since I've been like 5, barefoot, everything. So it's really been something we always been around.
All right, Aaron, we got a fan asking. Anthony Manzano is asking you, Aaron, as a corner, do you prefer playing man-to-man coverage or off-man zone coverage?
It really depends, like down the distance. So, like I say, 50 going in, I'll play press man.
Nice. So, Aaron, did you hear the news about Miami's new defensive coordinator today?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay, so they got a new defensive coordinator. His name's Kevin Steele. I'm sure you can talk to DVD about this, learn more about him. But
I for sure got to talk to DVD because he even let me know.
Yeah, just you know, he's gonna be the defensive coordinator at Miami. So you know, that's what's going down at the U.
Oh, yes, sir. I plan on taking an official visit. I'm gonna talk to DVD so see if we can lock that in because I loved it up there.
Nice. All right.
Awesome. No, that's great to hear, Aaron. Ross, anything else you have for Aaron Williams, our great guest, number 1 cornerback in the state of California, guys? Let that sink in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Was there anything that the coaches told you, any specific coach there that stuck with you? You know, that kind of you were like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Really, Coach Cristobal. Every time I meet up with him, he really blows my mind again. Just remind me how such a cool dude he is, an honest person he is, and he's straight up with anybody. So if you come in and you think something else, he'll tell you straight up what it is and what it's not. And that's something I honestly like.
Who were some of the recruits that you had a chance to meet and talk with, you know, while you were there visiting?
Really, I was just with a lot of my California boys since we was all down there for the trip. So, like, Nico, he's a 5-star quarterback in California. It was Ajon Bryant. He's running back at Mater Dei. That's a lot of California kids, really.
Oh, Nico's your 7-on-7 quarterback?
Yeah, I played 7-on-7 with him, too.
Oh, that's nice, man. That's nice. That kid's got an arm, bro. Like, very impressed. Very impressed.
I'm going to have to tell him he needs to get on one. He can just get on here.
Oh, dude, we'd love to have him on here, bro, make it happen, bro.
Oh, yeah, I will. For sure.
Ross, you got anything else for Aaron, man? He's been a fantastic guest. We've really had a good time speaking with him, and Aaron's a phenomenal football player. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm good to go, Paul. I got all my questions asked. I mean, just like you mentioned, though, absolutely phenomenal football player. This is not only is he the top cornerback in the state of California. He will prove that he is his senior season, and he will prove to be one of the top cornerbacks in the entire nation by the time his senior season is done. I guarantee it.
That's a blessing right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aaron, you're the number one cornerback in the nation. Your quarterback's the number one quarterback in California. Your 7-on-7 team is pretty elite. And I know that both of you are going to be doing great things, and we're going to be looking forward to your success, Aaron, on the football field and off the football field moving forward. So, man, best of luck moving forward, and thank you again for coming on the scoop.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's really a blessing. I'm gonna talk to Nico. I'm gonna tell him he need to get on here right now.
Oh, we would love that. Love the both of you back on.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, Aaron. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too.
You too.
All right. That was Aaron Williams, number one cornerback in the state of California, has an outstanding relationship with Coach DeMarcus Van Dyke, Mario Cristobal. Really likes Miami. He's going to be taking an official visit as well. And he's talking to the University of Alabama. I think he received an offer in LSU.
Yeah.
I think I just said enough to kind of just describe him as a football player.
That right there kind of just tells you the caliber of player he is. I mean, that it's pretty amazing that Cristobal is getting attention from guys like this all the way across the nation in the short amount of time he's been there. And like he said, when I asked him specifically about what coach stood out to him or what coach said something, he said it came right from Cristobal. That means that Cristobal is there face-to-face talking with these recruits and actually building relationships, unlike what I heard when Diaz was there. Diaz was not talking to our recruits. He was not building relationships. Guys were wondering why the heck he wouldn't do it. So Cristobal is taking that. He's taking the lead with it, and he's making it something special for Miami.
And look, this relationship, Ross, was built in 8th grade. Mario Cristobal offered Aaron Williams in 8th grade. His family was very emotional. It was probably one of his first offers or his first one. And look how long this relationship is being built. Mario's now at Miami. That relationship's been built for years.
It's pretty amazing. It really is. A lot of times when you have a scenario like that where I'm sure a lot of you guys, remember Tate Martell, he was offered by University of Washington 8th grade year and he accepted. Well, by the time he was done with all that process, Washington wasn't even a team on his radar anymore. And usually that's what happens with these guys that they commit really, really early. They don't ever end up going back to that school or sticking with that school. So the fact Cristobal has been able to carry it on this long and get a kid like him excited about Miami, dude, pretty damn cool, bro.
By the way, the 7-on-7 quarterback he's referring to, Nico, he was at Elite Prospect Day as well. He's probably one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. So that would be amazing.
5-star, yeah.
Yeah, 5-star. Like Dante Moore and Nico are the top 2 prospects in the nation.
I got Nico a step above Dante.
He's got a cannon. It's scary. It's scary.
Dude, lightning cannon. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, hey, we just had some elite talent come on the show. We had Charleston Rambo's own personal trainer as well. The Kevin Steele effect is here. He has arrived at the University of Miami. He's our DC, and we can't wait to get started with him running our defense. And I think we're going to be a lot better tackling. I'll say that.
Linebacking core and tackling are going to go up, and it should be something that we start to see as a noticeable difference fairly soon within his tenure at Miami.
If you guys can hit subscribe before you head out, hit the like button. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for everyone watching. It was a little bit longer than our typical shows. We had a lot of great guests. So thank you again, guys. Make sure to hit subscribe and the like button on your way out. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.